Circling the rusted roof reveals years of neglect. Water pooling, where armor once protected lives.
Discovering this forgotten RG-31 Nyala MRAP buried deep in the American wilderness. Checking the interior now, seats are shredded with foam everywhere, electronics dangling loose, floor packed with sand and debris from the woods.
Forcing open this stuck rear door, look at the rotten cabin back here.
Shining light on the floor, rust holes everywhere, cracked brackets, old oil leaks.
Marking the bad spots. Chassis rot, weak panels, pillars, roof needs work.
Starting wheel removal on this rusted RG-31. These seized lugs are battle-worn from years abandoned.
Close inspection of this rusted rim and tire bead. Years of mud and corrosion fused them solid.
Watch the trapped mud and rust pour out now that armor's off. This was packed in tight.
Stripping fender panels and mudguards, cracks run deep from exposure.
Opening the engine bay. Neglect has let nature move in deep. Wide view stripping mirrors, handles, brackets, everything gets labeled for reassembly. Pulling the corroded grille and headlights, lenses are fogged solid.
Opening the rear doors to access the stripped cargo hold, time to gut the interior completely.
One by one, ripping out these rusted rear seats. Harnesses fused, mounts seized.
Front seats out now. These rails are eaten through with rust.
Wall panels off, unveiling the MRAP's core armor layers.
Carefully labeling connectors and routing the wiring harness to keep everything organized during dashboard disassembly. Clearing loose items from the cabin floor, out with old carpet, protectors, and rotten insulation. Inspecting and marking rust perforations in floor corners and seams for later repair.
Removing outdated electronics like radio and modules to the dedicated bench for inspection.
Time lapse of full interior strip down, leaving just the bare steel structure, wiring, and brackets.
Spraying markings on floor and pillars for the sections needing cutout and re-weld repairs.
Starting the high-pressure wash to blast off years of hardened mud from this abandoned RG-31 Nyala hull.
Targeting the V-hull cavities to flush out trapped dirt and zones from this MRAP's protective understructure. Applying thick foam wash to loosen the flaking paint and surface rust on this RG-31 Nyala's body. Degreasing the wheels and wells to remove embedded oils from this MRAP's running gear.
Vacuuming out the interior buildup of dirt and rust flakes from this MRAP cabin.
Degreasing the cabin floors and walls to lift old oils and stuck contaminants.
Blowing out the last residues from welds and crevices with compressed air.
Structure now exposed after drying, through holes from rust clearly visible across the V-hull, ready for detailed assessment.
Masking sensitive areas like wiring and seals before media blasting to protect from abrasive damage. Probing rust thickness with screwdriver to ensure safe media blasting depths on remaining corrosion.
Blasting thick rust off the side hull now, watching the bare monocoque armor emerge contour by contour.
Peeling rust from these critical welds and corners, prepping that rough texture for primer.
Hitting the roof and doors now, tape protecting those window edges perfectly.
Grinding down these big rusty patches with the flap disc for even bare metal. Wire brushing the interior floors and lower walls clean of surface rust. Hand sanding these tricky corners and edges machines can't reach. Applying rust converter to these tight crevices where thin rust hides, neutralizing it chemically before final clean.
Now solvent wiping and air blowing every metal surface dust-free for smooth repairs. Cutting out rotten floor panels to expose the strong V-hole base structure.
Formed replacement plates laid out on bench, contoured exactly to V-floor specs.
Tack welding new floor plates secure, holding perfect position and spacing.
Running full seam welds, sparks lighting up the strong new floor bond. Welding reinforcements on cross members, seat mounts, and belt brackets for full strength.
Pulling out major dents on the RG-31 Nyala side armor using slide hammer technique.
Applying thin body filler and block sanding for a perfectly level panel surface on the Nyala.
Inspecting the RG-31 Nyala's body silhouette with backlighting to confirm straight, factory-taught lines.
Close checking door, hood, and hatch gaps on the Nyala for perfect uniform alignment.
Final masking complete before base coat, protecting edges for crisp lines on the RG-31 hull. Epoxy primer seals the hull against future corrosion on this RG-31 Nyala.
Selecting authentic military green base coat to match original RG-31 Nyala scheme.
High build primer filled imperfections, now sanded smooth for flawless base coat on the RG-31.
Wide view of the RG-31, now rust-free and masked, ready for panel fixes and welding.
First base coat lays down the military green foundation across the front hull.
Second and third base coats ensure total coverage, no panels showing through.
Clear coat adds depth and protection, bringing out the military green shine.
Reapplying emblems, stencils, and tactical markings with precise masking.
Wheel rims detailed and clear-coated to blend perfectly with the restored body.
Applying textured anti-rust coating to interior floors and lower walls for lasting protection.
Installing new wiring loom with factory routing and clamps for reliable electrics. Installing cleaned and coated interior panels over armor and wiring.
Mounting restored dashboard and instruments, all indicators clear. Installing the rear bench seats and harnesses now to this RG-31 Nyala.
Bolting new front seats and seat belts to cleaned rails. Laying new anti-slip rubber flooring and fitting trim handles and covers for a secure interior. Final detailing, cleaning glass, polishing plastics, and verifying all switches and indicators work perfectly. Final detailing, cleaning glass, polishing plastics, and verifying all switches and indicators work perfectly.
360 view of the completed rear cabin layout, everything neatly fitted and ready.
POV from the driver's seat. Dashboard, controls, and clear windshield make it feel brand new.
Detailing the engine and drivetrain. New hoses, belts, fuel tank checks, and guards all cleaned up.
Servicing brakes, calipers, discs, suspension, and steering for heavy-duty performance.
Mounting new off-road tires. Torquing lug nuts secure.
Engine fires up perfectly on first turn, all instruments reading nominal after full rebuild. No leaks or odd noises under idle. Everything tight after full mechanical overhaul. First drive out of the shop, handles like new after complete overhaul. Brakes grab solid, no pull, steering geometry perfect.